That push for better prevention is something that hits home with Nikkii McClelland. Her husband, Darren, was Swift Current's fire chief, and he died from cancer 3 years ago at the age of 48. Nikkii joins us now from Swift Current. Thanks for being here.
Thank you.
As you watch that story, what goes through your mind?
As I watch the story, everything's relatable. It's also real, and everything comes back. It's been 3 years now, and just listening to the firefighter in North Battleford and how he said the C word. I remember that time as if it was yesterday, hearing that Darren had cancer, and just everything just stops. And just with one of the firefighters in Regina, Tyler, just having thyroid cancer or going through chemo, and it's so relatable, and it brings back everything.
When you go back to your husband's colon cancer diagnosis, what do you remember about thinking how likely it was that it was caused by his work as a firefighter?
Maybe at the time it didn't register. I think we're just so focused, but as time went on and we're dealing with workers' comp and seeing if he was eligible for a claim, as we spoke about fires that Darren had fought, there were some fires that have went through our minds of what could have may cause this. There was a huge chemical fire in Swift Current, and Darren and another firefighter and two other firefighters were on the call, and it was a chemical fire, and both of those, Darren and the other firefighter that were fighting the fire, both have since passed.
What improvements would you like to see?
As the last 3 years have went by, we've been talking with workers' comp and talking with the firefighters about fire prevention and cancer. I think they are on the right path with better gear, masks, and I know when Darren was on the fire department, they were talking about even wash machines and getting the heavy duty wash machines, and how to wash their gear and how to prevent the chemicals getting into their bodies, and infrared saunas and helping them detoxify after a fire. So there those things. I'll leave that up to the firefighters, and for my experience with the cancer itself, I think better, more intense, extreme medicals. Darren always had medicals, and I know all the firefighters get yearly medicals, but I think for cancer, there's more testing that can be done and should be done. Maybe not on a yearly basis, but starting with a baseline with tumor markers, or talking to oncologists and how to read. So Darren's cancer, when we found it, was too advanced. I feel if we could get it sooner, it may have changed the outcome. So early prevention is key. And I think there are tests to be done in each different departments of the cancers, and to do better prevention with more intense medicals.
Weyburn's fire chief says money is one of the biggest obstacles to better prevention. Given your personal experience, what would you tell decision makers?
How much money do you put on a human's life, I guess? But I know funding and money is always an issue. I guess I would ask the question is, how much money was put into Darren's cancer and chemo and surgeries? Workers' comp paid for Darren's time off and paid for a lot of that. Claim was probably quite expensive. I wonder how much money went into that compared to maybe that money taken to try to prevent. I know when we talk about medicals and tumor markers, everything costs money to have those tests done, but I think in the long run, that money would have been well spent in preventing than the afterthought and the chemos and the surgeries, and just paying out the claim after his loss.
Nikkii, thank you so much for your time. I'm sorry for your loss and appreciate you sharing your story.